So I'm going to get started. Thank you for attending today and for attending our monthly webinar, this one, Marketing for Rural Libraries. My name is Angie Hauser, and I'm the Continuing Education Coordinator for the North Dakota State Library. I'm presenting today because Brianne Meyer, our marketing specialist, was unable to be here today. So I will do my best to present her presentation in her words. If you have any questions at the end of the webinar, I can either write them down, try to answer them to the best of my abilities, or you can email Brianne. Her email address will be at the end of this webinar. Thank you for your understanding on that. We all probably know that marketing is important and that we should be doing a lot more than we currently are. Some of you may be thinking, yes, I know this is true, but I just don't have the time, resources, or skills to do it. I'm hoping that by the time we are done here, you will be excited to go out there with some, hopefully, newfound resources to start marketing your small library, knowing that you do have the time, resources, and skills to do it. But first, if you're going to become marketers of the library, it's probably a good idea to know what marketing is. In a broad sense, marketing is an ongoing conversation with your targeted audience. It combines promotion, publicity, public relations, and advertising in an organized, strategic way. You not only want to reach out to your customers, you also want to connect with them in some way that will resonate with them. You want to stir a passion within them that will allow you to have a two-way conversation with them. First question, who is your targeted audience? This is important to know because it will influence how you market to them and where you go from there. Is your target audience the people who are already coming in and know about some, but maybe not all of the things the library offers? Are you trying to reach the people who have never been in the library? What age groups do you want to reach? Teens are generally some of the hardest people to get into the library, but what about tweens? Or parents of small children? Knowing who your target audience is will help you when it comes to the next step, which is, what do you want your targeted audience to know about? Everyone knows that libraries have books, but do they know about your recently upgraded young adult section? Or that you have a bunch of large print books that might make reading easier for some of the people in your community? On the other hand, do the teens in your community know about the online library resources that are available to them through the library? Do they know that homework help is available right in their own homes? Do the parents in the community know about the programming that is available for their children or for themselves? Make sure when you are telling people about the resources that are available, you include what the outcomes are from using them. If your patrons don't understand how they can utilize things, they may just see the cost and wonder why you're spending so much money. You need to show your patrons that what you have available is worth the expense. Also, be aware that what you're offering the people in your community can probably be found elsewhere. What do you have that makes your resources better than others? Look at your competition and figure out why what you are offering is so much better, and then use that to market to your audience. Probably the most difficult thing about marketing the library is that there are just so many things available, and we want to make sure that the people in the community know about all of it. We aren't like a company who makes one thing or even just a couple of things. We have so many great resources that we want to spread the word about, and only so much space to get it all in. We don't want to overwhelm people, and yet we also want to give them all the information we have. When you are just starting out with marketing, try to choose a group of people who you understand and know their values and what they are looking for. It'll make it more manageable and give you a starting point to branch out with. It may also give you a little bit more confidence than trying to market to the people who you don't fully understand. Also, look at subgroups such as new adults to see how you can fill their needs. Once you know who your targeted audience is and what you want them to know about, the next thing you should think about is how to get the information to them. What type of media do they use? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, newspaper perhaps, community boards, all of the above, none of the above? Get your information out there on the platform your audience uses. One of, if not the best ways to market is through word of mouth. Your patrons and your library board can and should be your best advocates. Word of mouth marketing is so important to get the message out to the people who don't use the library. If your patrons are talking about the great things available, others are going to want in on it too. Other people's opinions and experiences do matter to others. I see it all the time on Facebook when someone has a terrible or a great experience somewhere and they want to tell everyone about it, either just to their friends or on a community page. Wouldn't it be great if the library in the community was able to have their patrons go online and out into their community to just say what a great experience they had at the library? Get people talking about the library, hopefully only good things, and others will listen. Also, make sure you are visible in your community. Go to the events taking place in town so they can see you and think about the library. Your presence and making yourself approachable can make a huge impact in how people view the library. Show them that it's a good thing. We at the State Library have booths at different events at the Capitol, mostly to remind state employees that we exist. We try to have some fun things for them and everyone in the state to participate in, such as blind date with a book, March book battles, and summer reading bingo. These are fast and easy things that are fun for the participants and get people talking about the library. We give out prizes to random winners. Think small bucket of candy. Prizes don't have to be huge or expensive. It's amazing how even adults get excited about chocolates. Your library board members and any other staff members are also your biggest advocates. Make sure they know what all is available at and through the library so they can tell others. You can't expect people in the community to know what you have if the people closest to the library don't know. Keep them informed on what's new and what's going on at the library so they can promote the services to their friends and families. Now that we kind of know what marketing is, why is it important? Well, the number one reason should be to make sure that your resources and programming are being utilized and that the community knows the library exists and is an important asset to the community. If the community members don't see the library in that way, what's to say they won't decide to cut funding? You need to make sure that the library is seen in a positive light and that the community can't see a future without it. I hate that it comes down to money as to why marketing is important, but that's the world we live in. We need to prove our worthiness to the people in the community so they see us as a crucial aspect of that community. Within marketing, there are 6 important activities: promotion, encouraging people to take advantage of the library; branding, establishing a profile that can be used to build loyalty in your community; public relations, building positive relationships with your community; publicity, communicating your message to the community; advertising, announcing your services to the community; and advocacy, generating support for your library, usually in regards to keeping funding. All right, now that we know what marketing is and why it's important, let's get into ways to make it easier and less time-consuming for you. I'm only going to talk about free or extremely cheap resources. Some of them may include additional features that cost money, but you can do a lot for free. When it comes to pictures, I hope you all are aware that clip art is no longer an option. Too many companies are using high-quality images that look so much more professional than clip art, so it could come across as amateurish if you are still using clip art. Here are some options when looking for better images. Pixabay is my absolute favorite. It is completely free, and you can search for images, vectors, illustrations, and videos. These stock photos are all free to use under Creative Commons licensing, which makes them safe to use without asking for permission or even giving credit to the artist or photographer. The photos can also be modified and used for commercial purposes. When using Pixabay, you can either search by keyword, or you can browse by background or texture, nature or landscape, music, emotions, and many more. You can also limit your searches by certain colors, sizes, and orientations. I mostly use Pixabay when designing signs for displays that are featured in the library. They can also be used for Facebook posts and really anything else you want images for. Facebook users are drawn by photos when skimming down their timeline. It's a way to really grab their attention and so easy to accomplish. The next one we're going to look at is Unsplash. Just like Pixabay, this is a completely free website with high-resolution photos available for everyone. If I can't find what I'm looking for in Pixabay, I come straight to Unsplash. There are over 550,000 free do whatever you want photos that come straight from photographers. Also, just like Pixabay, you can use the search feature, or you can look through different collections and use the Explore function to get you started. Flickr is another resource you can use to find some great photos. Once again, you can use the search or explore features to find what you're looking for, and you can limit it by what sort of licensing you need, such as modifications allowed. You can also limit it by orientation, size, color, and date taken. Unlike Unsplash and Pixabay, however, you may have to give attribution or appropriate credit. You can also find that information under the photo, so you'll want to make note of that. Notice that I didn't mention Google. That's because a lot of images you find on Google are not free to use. If you decide to only use Google, please make sure you filter it by usage rights, and that the images you are using can be reused and/or modified by you. Even if you aren't using it for commercial use, you still can't just take photos from Google without making sure it's okay. If you want to create something quick for a particular platform, say a Facebook post, Canva is a fantastic tool for you to use. When you get on Canva, you can choose what social network you need an image for, and it will have the size set up for you immediately, including Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. There are also poster, flyer, and brochure templates you can use for your marketing endeavor, among many other things. A lot of what you find on Canva is free. However, there are some backgrounds that cost money, normally like $1. So you'll want to keep watch for that. I use Canva a lot for Facebook and website slides. It's a fun website to experiment with when you have a little bit of time. Visme is a website that I'm just getting started with. It's another place where you can find templates for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram with beautiful photos that are sure to catch people's eye. They also have templates for posters, flyers, brochures, postcards, etc. There are also some very neat infographics that can help you show people how the library ranks and all the good things you've done in a clear, easy-to-read document. If you are more interested in GIFs to make posts stand out, try Giphy. This is a great place to go for free gifts that you can share on social media and use for poll options on Facebook. You can even make your own gift with the gift maker. There are gifts for every mood and include ones from TV shows, movies, and sports that can be used for any occasion. One last thing that you probably all know, but I don't want to make any assumptions, is that you can schedule out your Facebook posts. I know there aren't a whole lot of slow times at the library, but if you do find yourself with a little free time, you can make Facebook posts and schedule them out for the rest of the week or even the month. You can easily save your work when using these free resources and come back to them later. Just remember that you've created them. I have a folder on my desktop labeled Backgrounds for when I find a background that doesn't work for what I'm doing, but don't want to lose it in case it would be perfect in the future. If you have 2 or 3 platforms, say Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, one thing that could be very useful to you is Hootsuite. You can schedule up to 30 messages in advance with Hootsuite, which looks like a dashboard and keeps everything organized so you can monitor your different platforms easily. You'll also get some basic analytics to see what types of content is resonating with your audience and track your follower growth. I just want to end this webinar by saying that I know you all are very busy, and it feels like you don't have time to do this stuff, but you really do. It seems like it will take up a lot of your time, but it doesn't have to. You're already promoting your services to the people who walk in the door. Now get the word out to the other people in the community. If you aren't already marketing your services, you are missing out on giving people in your community the help they may need. If there are people in your community who are not aware that you exist or that you have resources that will help them, you need to continue marketing. It is so important to market the library. If you have any marketing questions that have come from this webinar or any questions in general, please feel free to email Brianne Meyer at ndslpa@nd.gov. She'll get back to you as soon as she's able to. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. I'm sorry, I'm not the marketing specialist, but if you have any questions right now, I'd be happy to try to answer them. If not, I can send them along to Brianne. Thank you again for attending.